If your life is anything like mine, you've got an entire family to cook for, you want to ensure that they eat healthily, but you also don't have a lot of time. So today I'm going to put my Forge and my Vortex to work while I get some work done. So I'm going to make first off a baby puree, and I'm going to use pumpkin, sweet potato, some brown rice, and I've also got a little bit of ginger. That is perfect if you've got a baby who's got tummy issues. It'll help with any bloating, any gas. So I'm going to chuck this all into the Vortex, and I'm going to let that puree down while I make the rest of the meal for the family. I've popped everything in there, and then I'm just going to close it. I'm going to start it up. I am going to go with the dessert setting. I find that that gets it the best for this, and only 300 mLs of water because you don't need a lot when you're doing a puree. And then just press start. And in 15 minutes, my baby will have her meal. That's the best part. I don't actually have to even think about it, and it'll clean itself once I'm done. While the puree is cooking, I'm going to make a stew with similar ingredients so we don't have to have two different of ingredients from what we use with the stew. I've got my pumpkin, my sweet potato. I'm going to add in some celery, some chickpeas, onion and garlic for a bit of the flavor, a bit of chicken stock. I have turmeric, cumin, oregano, pepper, and I've got a bay leaf here as well. I will be adding my salt in at the end because I want to ensure that it's got all the flavors before I salt it. I'm also going to be adding in a bit of passata, and then on top I'll be adding in some frozen spinach. I've added in some chickpeas as well for added protein, and I'm just going to mix it all up so that it cooks quite evenly in there. I've got my frozen spinach and everything else in there. I just want to make sure it all gets mixed up nicely so that when it cooks we get a bit of everything mixed in. And I'm going to put this on the steam setting because then it won't add in too much water. I don't want this to be a super watery stew. There's the puree. Absolutely perfect. Look at how silky smooth that is. And now it's starting the auto clean function as I mentioned earlier, which means I can just leave it and go take care of the kids, go get my little baby fed with that lovely puree, and I don't even have to come back to this. I mean, that honestly is a lifesaver for a busy mom. As I mentioned earlier, I've put everything in that pot, and then I am going to put it on the steam setting so that it doesn't add in too much water. And I think it only needs to honestly go on for about, let's say 30 minutes, and it'll be perfect. And we've got lunch on the way.
Start cooking.
This is the puree that we made earlier. Look at how silky smooth that is. Perfect texture for a baby who wants to try out food for the first time. And it is loaded with nutrients. Okay, so our stew is ready. Let's have a look. Oh. Wow, okay, we're just being blasted by steam right now. Look at that. Now I can just mix everything up. And we've got our lunch ready. A perfect stew that's got pumpkin and sweet potato and chickpeas and spinach and all sorts of lovely goodness. Delicious. So that's my stew. I'm having it with a bit of rugbrød, which is a Danish rye bread. Added nutrients, it's more dense, it's healthier for you because it's fermented bread. And then now my daughter here is gonna have, I've mixed hers with the puree. So I've mixed the stew with the puree, so it's not as spicy for her. What do you think, Ava?
It's yummy.
It's yummy? You like it?
Yeah.
You can have some more?
Yeah.
Have another bite.
Okay.
And there you go. It's super easy. I made a meal that was for the entire family as well as for the kids, and everyone's happy, and it took me less than 30 minutes.